Sorry?
Showing some concern.
Okay. So in empathy, I step into your world. Because unless I, for example, somebody has a wound, somebody got injured, I am not experiencing that. Unless I step into the world, would I experience the pain? Would I feel the way you feel? So that means it's as simple as I am stepping into your world, I am wearing your shoes, and I am thinking and feeling the way you do. That's about it. As simple as that. You understand, right? You leave your perspective a bit aside. And you just understand, you hear the other person from his point of view and perspective than being yours. Understood, right? So that means the other person is given the edge, not the self, in being empathetic. Now, being proactive. What is being proactive?
Taking the first step of action.
Initiation.
Initiation, very good. Next. Initiation what?
It could be a conversation, it could be anything for that matter.
Okay. See, you go to a restaurant and you just wait for the food. I mean, we all experienced in the last 1 month. You're just waiting for the food, no one is coming to you or whatever. But the moment you go, that is one scenario. Somebody came, they attended you, they asked you, what would you like to have? Or even before you call for someone, they attend you. How do you feel? Not just a restaurant, you go to a hospital, you go to anywhere, I'm just saying. That means when you are proactive, that you are giving a feeling, again all of these are overlaps. Authenticity and being empathetic will overlap each other. Being empathetic and being proactive will overlap with each other. It's cusp. All of these are overlaps with each other, So, when you are being proactive, it is about, for example, it's not that the customer will come and tell you that I have a problem. It's not that I tell the recruiter that ask for the status. They think, okay, I need to give a status of what the stats and what the numbers are to my leadership. Can I ask the customer if there is any problem to whatever I have delivered even before the customer comes and asks me? It makes a lot of difference. If they come and ask you, it's like you are just addressing their problem and they owe you for it. But if you proactively ask, that will mean a lot to the other person. You understand, right? That will mean a lot of difference, and that's what will help build the rapport. And what is being accommodative? Yeah, accommodative. Again, this goes in hand with being empathetic. Accommodative means I accommodate you in for example, I may not believe in what you believe, but still I accommodate you. I may not agree with, it was said, we can agree to disagree. I mean, it's as simple as that. We can agree to disagree, which means what? We may disagree in our beliefs, but we can still agree that we are disagreeing. So, in being accommodative, I accommodate the other person, beyond what I think, beyond what I believe, beyond my values. I still value the other person's perspective, opinion or view for what it is. Then being appreciative. See, how many of you will like being appreciated by others? And you see the kind of enthusiasm and what we witnessed on the floor day before yesterday for Women's Day. Some of the videos Shruti posted it. Why people liked it? Because when you get appreciated by someone, you like it, right? That is something, I am not saying this, science is saying that. You may get bored with wealth, you may get bored with food, you may get bored with many of the materialistic things. But what moves humans beyond all of this is to be appreciated, to be regarded by others for who you are. That will never bore you. Isn't it? Again, this is science. So, why can't we appreciate each other for simple things? It can be very simple things. I think this is the kind of culture we all need to bring in. And then, what is it being collaborative? What is collaboration? Work together for what? Common goal. Working together for a common goal. My goal may be different, your goal may be different, but we are all working for a common goal. Collaboration is not coordination. Just telling that what you do and for example, Shruti, she drops an email. For example, it can be a laptop, or it can be a grievance for the employee. She takes the thread to completion till it is completed. It's not that I route it to a finance or I route it to some other department that I am not owning. Till the time the employee's grievance is addressed, she is owning it, and all the dependent stakeholders or departments are working together till that grievance is addressed. That is collaboration. You understand, right? For example, a customer's code is at fault, or I mean some bug we need to fix or whatever. So it is the developer who has to do. He will communicate to somebody, and that somebody cannot just sit that it is some programmer who has done it. So overall, we are collectively working as again teamwork. I mean the next thing, as I said, all of these overlap each other. They complement each other. So you are working as a team for a common goal. That's what is collaboration. You are not working while you have a defined goal, but if something that you need to help the other person, you will not hesitate. You understand, right? So that's about collaboration is being inclusive. Where you take inclusive of all the people around you. Why teamwork? You take collaboration, you take teamwork. I can do my work, right? You can do your work, right? But why teamwork? Any one of you can give me a factual evidence why teamwork is better than individual siloed work?
If there is a problem, instead of thinking with one mind, probably you can think with one.
That is one. Well, yeah, very true.
Get
Yeah,
solution.
very true. You get diverse inputs. Next, that's not just it.
In team, different people will be specializing in different areas. So when people.
No, that can still happen by coordinating, right?
Better-
I am good at something, they are good at something, I ask them to do. That is still, so, okay, let's come to the point. There is a quote by Aristotle, the whole is greater than the individual parts. For example, we all believe in 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. But when it comes to teamwork, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is not 6. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is greater than 6.
To save time also.
The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. That's what. Why? That's because when individual energies come together, it will create synergy. That means our energies are coming together to transform the whole thing into synergy. Synergies are greater than the individual energies. It's as simple as that. Okay. So active listening, I think we all are living in a world where we stopped listening to each other. We are all interested in speaking to each other, but we stopped listening to each other. Trust me, when I was working in my previous organization, I think I gave this example to some of you. Oracle Corporation, my onshore was in Europe. They always have complained because they are typical British racists, they have problem with Indians. So in one of the call, the onshore person came on the call. They cribbed and complained about the team. For 20 minutes, I was just listening. I didn't defend, I didn't react, I didn't say anything. After 20 minutes, that lady just got bored and she didn't know what else to say. She felt small of herself because for 20 minutes I was just listening with a smile. Then she doesn't know how to take the conversation forward. You understand, right? So active listening. So I think this makes a lot of difference. Again, there is another quote. When you say something, you are saying something which you already know. When you listen, you may hear something that you don't know. As simple as that. So I think, isn't it enough for us to understand what behaviors we all need to build rapport with each other? Okay. Innovation. Yeah. So before we understand what is innovation in your
Creating something new.
sorry,
Creating something new.
creating something new. Okay. Then
In a different way,
sorry,
different way,
different way, different. Yeah. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Tell me, what is innovation? Okay, before we understand what is innovation is the fuel for growth. When a company runs out of innovation, it runs out of growth. Innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, not as a threat. You take pandemic. When pandemic happened, several businesses have grown. Several businesses took advantage of pandemic as an opportunity, not as a threat. You are right. I mean, hybrid working models evolved. So many things happened. It drastically changed the whole world. So, innovation is challenging the status quo. For example, like when I came in here, I tried to understand the way onboarding happens, the way offers happen, the way every process in the HR happens. I was just asking why cannot it be this way? Why can't it be this way? Is there a way to do better than how we are doing? Innovation is not just science. Innovation is not just technology. Innovation is about how to get better. How effective, and there is no end. You understand, right? So, okay, so while we understand what is innovation, let us look at some of the behaviors we all need to understand how we can actually bring in innovation in the way we all work. Be curious. I mean, that reminds me a quote. When the student is ready, the master appears. Unless you are curious, Can I, if for example, if you are not ready with what I am saying, whatever I am saying, it will not get into your head. You are totally disconnected. That means curiosity. Let's even go to a root level example. Without hunger, will you eat?
No.
Without thirsty, will you drink?
No.
Why? Because there is a placeholder. There is a need to actually supplement something and take something, and there is a resource and you take it, you consume it. Correct? That becomes complete. It's as simple as that. You need to be curious to even invite a change. You understand, right? If we were to bring that change, first of all, we need to be curious. We need to, for example, in whatever I'm saying, whatever jargons I'm using, you need to be curious to understand what it is. Unlearn and relearn. Why unlearn and relearn? Yeah, why should we unlearn and relearn?
To enhance ourselves, to improve ourselves.
Because we cannot apply one solution to every problem.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Go on. What else?
You can apply with a different solution.
Okay. Let's go to the grassroots level examples as we speak. You buy medicine. It has an expiry date, right? Can you use the medicine beyond an expiry date?
No.
You cannot, right? Not just medicine, any food you consume, anything that you buy has an expiry date. Same is the case with the knowledge you hold, with the information you hold. Whatever is sitting in your head has an expiry date. It cannot remain valid forever. You understand, right? So which means you will have to unlearn and uncondition your older ways of thinking and doing things, and you will have to adapt to the newer ways of doing things. Pandemic is a great example. The way we were living it drastically changed, isn't it? So again, everything before it becomes expired, when you consume something which is expired, it's as simple as poison to you, isn't it? Same is the case, your information, your skills, your abilities, your knowledge, all of that, if you hold beyond the expiry date, it's as simple as you holding poison. It's no rocket science. Develop learnability and learn agility. What is learnability and learn agility? Give it a shot. That's okay. You can go wrong. Yeah. Many organizations you take. I work for Infosys for about 14 years. When Infosys is known for hiring fresh campus graduates. Not even Infosys, even TCS. They all keep an aptitude test. They don't test you in Java. They don't test you in programming. They don't test you in algorithm. They test you in aptitude and analytical thinking. Why? Any reasons? Why they look at your aptitude and analytical skills for hiring you without testing your IT skills?
Ability,
Sorry?
to get the ability, how can you learn?
Whether you are learnable or not. You understand, right? They can train you in any technology. But do you have that learnability is what they are testing in those tests. You understand, right? Then what is learn agility? Learn ability we know, ability to learn. What is learn agility? Learn agility is nothing but how rapidly you can learn. Something is because what you learn today can change overnight. Something else may come. How rapidly you are prepared to accommodate, what is changing in the world, what is changing in the market, what is changing in enterprises. That rapidness is where you are being more learn agile to consume the new information, to consume the new skill, to consume the newer technologies. You understand, right? So we all need to develop that learnability and learn agility. Otherwise it is not about survival. Those on Teams can hear me, right? Okay, yeah, thank you. So you understand, right? So we all need to, it is not about just acquiring a skill. It is about how agile you are to unlearn, relearn. Probably you can Google, some of you can Google meta learning, learning how to learn. It is not about learning. Everyone have a different ways of learning. Google, when you note down and search for meta learning, search for learning agility, and I would be more than glad to speak to some of you coming forward and telling me that what you understood about meta learning, what you understood about learn agility, what you understood about unlearning and relearning and some of these things. Valuing diversity. You may think, what innovation has to do with valuing diversity and inclusion? I think Karthik, you said, you are maybe Sharad. What is value in diversity to do with innovation?
The same thing, acceptance. The
Sorry?
change, accepting the change that is happening.
Diversity is, again, I'm not referring to
No.
diversity in gender.
Gender.
When we say diversity, diversity in race, diversity in region, diversity in religion, diversity in every demographic, economical backgrounds, all demographics put together, bringing different diverse workforce. You take many companies, Adobe, Cisco, Intel, you will see people from different countries and ethnical backgrounds working together. Why?
Everybody will carry their own authenticity for that matter, and they'll put in to the system across.
Basically, people bring in different, fresh perspectives. They bring in different perspectives. That's where I think even our leadership is working. Krishna was emphasizing on bringing diverse workforce, because we all communicate. See, you look at the kind of words you are picking up in this discussion, and can it just happen if we were just communicating? And I know we can actually have an informal talk outside in Telugu and other regional languages. But can it happen, unless we have a diverse workforce? Can we all leverage from it? Isn't it? So, it is not about just bringing diverse workforce. It is about bringing inclusivity with all the diverse workforce. Nobody should feel alienated, because that's where innovation will happen. You understand, right? And you should foster that culture of people giving your ideas. I asked my team, is there an element in these 30 days, like I asked some of you or some of them, what is that element that you didn't like in me? Seek feedback. You understand, right? It's not that always you are right. Be courageous. What is the next one? Design thinking. Sorry. What is design thinking? Sorry, I think we missed failure. Embrace failure. Yeah. Why we need to embrace failure?
To learn from the
To
failure.
accept and learn from others.
To learn from it. Next.
Because we have to move on no matter
First thing we have to accept that.
Okay. Again, we are known for going to grassroots level and with examples, right? Let me give an example. When every virus, every infection, you are given vaccinations, right? When you are attacked with an infection, will you be attacked with the same infection again? What is happening in your body? The body is developing an antibody for you to endure and stand that infection, so that the body is not affected next time. Is that right? Correct or not? That means first time the body is at fail. The body is failing first time because you are attacked, infection attacked. But next time it cannot, because the body learned how to deal with it. It's as simple as that. Failure will help us to build the resilience, to build the endurance, that we are not failed again. And you take many big companies, they celebrate failures. They don't celebrate just successes. They celebrate failures. It's like all of the teams, they come together and they have cakes, they have drinks, and they will just talk and they will just brainstorm all the learnings, takeaways they had from that failure. And they will celebrate. You understand, right? So I think that is the culture we need to look at. You should not fear to fail. You should be courageous to fail. But don't fail for there is another quote. To err is human, to forgive is divine. To err repeatedly for the same thing is being stupid. So you fail, but don't fail for the same cause again. Because when you learn from it, you allow the way the body is handling the infection second time, you should allow your psyche to handle it next time. Isn't it? I mean, is it relatable or is it going over the head? I mean, are we on the same platform? Okay. Now, what is design thinking? Maybe take the notes, because I don't think I can be crisp and short in telling what is design thinking. But I will give you an example, personal experience, bear me with that. My father doesn't know how to buy stuff for himself. He will be very clear in his head, but he can't express. We had been to a rural place in Tamil Nadu last 3-4 months ago, and the shopkeeper, he was struggling to convey what he wants, and as usual I was just sitting, because it is again my inability, I was not doing anything, and the shopkeeper asked a series of questions. Within 10 minutes he just got what my father was looking for. Now immediately my father stored that shop's number, his how to get stuff from the same shop again. So you tell me what exactly happened. My father doesn't know how to ask what he wants, but the shopkeeper asked series of questions, and within quick time he turned around to get what my father wants. This is as simple as design thinking. That means you keep the customer first than everything else. You probe, you ask series of questions, and you just get to the roots of what the customer wants. You understand, right? You are exactly, I mean, Infosys started an initiative called Zero Distance. You are exactly at zero distance, with the customer. What is zero distance? That means you both are aligned together. That is what is referred as zero distance. So that means design thinking is just wearing the customer's lens, being in the customer world, just understanding and getting what the customer wants. You understand, right? Many of the times customers, for example, you call the recruit, it can be, see, it is not just the customer. Even if the recruiter calls the, a candidate, sometimes the candidate is not very clear. But the way the candidate becomes relatable to the candidate, a recruiter becomes relatable to the candidate, ask right questions and make sure the candidate will again call the recruiter. That's where your ability lies. You understand, right? So again, Google more on design thinking. I would look forward to hear from some of you, because some of the world's renowned institutes like MIT and all are training on design thinking course. Krishna is on a mission to get some of the employees trained on design thinking course. We are working with an institute who can help us on that and all that. So explore more on design thinking. Again, I think let's go a little quick. Welcoming change and being courageous, we talked about. For example, you may have an idea. If you just hesitate, if you keep it with you, will it help you? It neither helps you nor the organization. You should be courageous. You should be willing to, express it. You should be willing to share it. You should be courageous to take some decisions. You understand, right? So being courageous is also being innovative. And the sense of urgency, see, nobody will tell us, it's not that somebody will come and tell me what I should be doing. You understand, right? For example, I was not totally prepared for this presentation, and I and Shruti were contemplating whether to keep it next week or, but I put myself in a sense of urgency. I thought, okay, if I put a deadline, if I put a date, I will do everything possible to make it happen. You understand, right? Nobody told me that I should be doing this on this day. I put myself in that sense of urgency that I should be delivering this today. You understand, right? That is the sense of urgency all of us should have. So we are done with rapport, we are done with innovation. So what is being transparent? Yeah, what is being transparent?
Be clear.
Sorry?
Being clear, genuine.
Being genuine, okay.
Clear.
Clear, next.
Clarity.
Huh? Sorry?
Clarity.
Clarity, okay. It's beyond all of this.
Giving the other person a chance that they'll be able to.
No, but why transparency? Okay, why transparency? To build trust.
To build trust, to make the other person,
Understand.
to be the.
Again, as I just said, all of these are overlaps. Transparency leads to trust. Trust leads to rapport. We spoke about rapport. All of these are overlaps. I mean, they cannot independently exist. You understand, right? So, what is being transparent? Transparency is what fosters a sense of trust, and it provides motivation. See, when I am transparent, I mean, so far I think most of you who I interacted with must have understood how transparently I work, and that's what I expect from the team as well, because that builds trust. Once trust is built, because the way you trust your family members, and all of this, you don't trust anyone else. But the similar trust is built. You will do anything. I don't have to tell you what you should be doing, and you don't have to tell me what is expected of me, isn't it? That becomes a motivational factor for all of us. So we should be very transparent. Transparency is not just between us. Trust me, when I was a project manager, when I have to deliver to customers, I was always transparent in telling the customer, hey, something is not working, there is a problem, but we are trying to fix it. I will not try to manipulate the customer. I will be very open about it. I will give the confidence that I will fix it, but I will be transparent to the customer that there is a problem. You understand, right? So transparency is at all levels, not just between us. So what are the behaviors to promote transparency? Again, some of these may have been covered in the previous for rapport and all that. It is not just that, ask for support without hesitation. Just ask for support when you are stuck. You understand, right? Because without you asking for support, again, we all know, crying baby getting milk, isn't it? Without you asking, how would others know what you want? Ask for support when you want. Involve people in decision making. For example, when we were optimizing some of the HR processes, I am very proud to say that all of us were involved. And there were few occasions where they gave inputs and we considered that. When I involve everyone, that is the transparency and the trust is built. So involve people in your decision making and sharing one's experiences and learning. I mean, again, we all learn. Again, there is a quote actually: "An intelligent learns from his own her mistakes. A wise person learns from others' mistakes." So when you share experiences and learnings from others, it becomes a collective experience. We learn from all of us, from each other. Then communicate proactively. We spoke about being proactive, right? I think, yeah. Then periodical cadence. I take a pause here. This is very, very important. I think I was discussing with, I don't know where Rahima is, Venkatesh, and I told them to have a periodical cadence with their customers. It is not that you react when the customer asks for staffing, when the customer says that there is a problem with it. You set up a recurring invite. You go and tell the customer, hey, here is my agenda. I want to cover this with you. You tell me what is the help that you are looking for. You understand, right? That is being transparent. That means the customer will be very clear that you are here to help him. Trust is built. Then he will not escalate on you. Trust me, most of these times, when you follow all of this, nobody will even escalate on you. Nobody will put you down. There won't be any scope or need even for that. Have openness. What is being open? What is having openness? Sorry?
Expressing their ideas.
Yeah, being expressive. Then openness is, beyond, again, it goes back to what we spoke about in rapport. It is beyond what I think, beyond what I value, beyond what I regard. I am open to your ideas, your perspectives. That way I am being transparent to you. You understand, right? So then trust and be trustworthy. What is trust? What is trust? If any of you can actually put it in simple terms, what is trust?
Believe.
Yeah, belief is subjective. Yeah, still it is okay. Yeah, what is trust?
Trust
I
is
mean, let me quote, sorry.
Trust is something we earn, probably.
We on, absolutely. I think you resonated with me. I don't know whether we spoke about it, but let me quote a line by my professor in XLRA Jamshedpur. Trust is not because I trust you that you are trustworthy. Trust is because I trust you because it's my nature to trust you. You understand, right? I think that is what, no matter what you say, it is my innate nature to trust you, not because you are trustworthy. At the same time, you be worthy of trustworthy. You earn the trust from other. I trust you, not simply because how you are to me, but to trust you is my value, my quality. At the same time, all of us should strive to be trustworthy. You understand, right? Self-expression. Self-expression, I think, there is something which will come in the subsequent slide as well, but I want all of you to note something called Johari window, Johari. Please take a note. Google about Johari window. It's a framework actually, maybe you can actually learn it later. Johari window is like, do I know everything about myself? Do I know everything about, the world knows everything about me? No, may not be. Do I know everything about myself? No. How I will let the world know what I know? By expressing. How I will let the world know what I know? What they don't know about me? By expressing. Correct? Now, how I get to know about myself, which I don't know from the world? By taking feedback. You understand, right? So which means all of us need to express ourselves so that the world knows what they don't know about us. And we take feedback so that we get to know the blind spots, what we don't know about us, which the world knows. Understood, right? So this again comes in the next. Being spontaneous. I think, there is again a bipolar, being strategic and being spontaneous. Right, I mean, most of the times when they do the lie detector and, when the CBI, FBI and these people, they keep some pulses and they test when you are saying whether are you speaking the truth or not. Do you know what exactly happens actually? Because when you say the truth, it comes spontaneously. When you try to manipulate the truth and say something else, you are being strategic, you are thinking. That's where the pulses will be different when you speak the truth. The pulses will be different when you don't speak the truth. That's how they get to know through those detectors and all of that. But coming to the context, in being spontaneous, others will know that you are speaking truth. Others will know that you are offering your authentic self. You understand, right? So be spontaneous. Don't just think. Be spontaneous in whatever you say. Okay. Shall we move on to excellence? Anything else? I mean, you want to add? Yeah. So what is excellence? What is excellence?
It could be like
Sorry?
the rapport, innovation, and everything.
No, no, go on. Yeah.
Like whatever we spoke about, maybe all those put together.
Okay. Yeah. No, that is also excellence. To do the best, yes.
To uplift your capabilities of what you're doing now.
Yeah, partly that.
The gradual result.
Absolutely.
The result of
Absolutely. Gradual improvement. That means you are not stopping. It is a sum of whatever all of you said put together. So excellence is the gradual result of always trying to do better, and there is no end to it, believe me. Okay? And we are this is a quote by Aristotle. We are what we repeat. It is not just about doing something once or twice. It is doing something repeatedly so that it is not an act, it becomes a habit. So excellence should be our habit. Now how to get to excellence? Attention to detail. What is attention to detail?
Focus.
Yeah, focus. Correct. Then being very, very focused to what you do. Correct. See, most of the time, yeah, sorry.
Understanding the situation, going to the ground level. and-
Ground level, yeah, very true. Next. See, most of the times our understanding is just on the surface level. It is not in our consciousness that, what we are doing. We just do like a machine, or we just get into a habit sometimes. You understand, right? We don't just take a step back and then go to the rock bottom and understand, is there a better way that whatever I do, is there a better way to do that? For example, when some of my team, or they were maintaining multiple Excel sheets, I just asked, why can't they all be clubbed into one sheet? We will consolidate all the columns so that it becomes easy for us, for you to maintain. So that means taking a step back and giving attention to the detail and just asking yourself if there is a better way to do. You understand, right? You can reflect on yourself, you can even ask others. Then agile mindset. We spoke about what is being learn agility, right? Agile mindset is quickly changing to the changing situations and changing circumstances. Then Kaizen, note down, Kaizen is a Japanese term for continuous improvement. It is done in manufacturing plants, in many organizations they follow Kaizen. Kaizen is about just getting better with time, and there is no end to it. You understand, right? Continuous improvement is what is excellence. Then apply to processes. Can we all just be random? In all the randomness, can there be an outcome? It cannot be. So we need to follow certain procedures, certain processes. Only by complying to, for example, you take HR, you take finance, we are getting into contracts with customers. All of these are, binding us to agree to certain terms, certain conditions, certain processes. You understand, right? So we need to comply to the processes. Probably there is a Six Sigma technique called DMAIC. Again, please note down like Kaizen. Define, measure, analyze, improve, control. This applies to everything, almost same everything. For example, say Krishna wants to make this organization 100 million. That is defining. He's defining his vision. Now measuring. Now his vision is clear. How this vision can be broken down into multiple measurements. How many people I need to hire to get there? How many contracts, customers I need to win to get there? You understand, right? What kind of processes, procedures, policies I need to put in place to get there? Do I have the measurement for all the parameters and attributes which will get me there? That is measuring. Now after measuring, analyze. Now analyze each one of them. I need to hire. To hire, what I need to do? Who are the people involved? What timelines they need to follow? You understand, right? So I gave a very high level example, but this is applicable to all of us for what we do. Just define, then you measure. Once you measure, you analyze each parameter, each metric. Once you analyze, then you will know what are the blockers, what are the pain points, what are the things that will get you there. Then improve. Try to get better. Can I do this I'm doing this in 10 minutes. Can I do this in 5 minutes? Is there a way to shorten the time? You understand, right? So improve, then control. Control is just sustaining it, not just leaving it. Control is just maintaining the sustaining it, and then again it goes through another. This is a cyclic process. It is not just once you do it and it stops. It is a cyclic process. So can we call it that we understood this? Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. It's a Six Sigma process. Now, being conscientious, maybe you can note down the word conscientiousness. In a personality Big Five model, conscientiousness is a quality, is a personality trait, where somebody is very dutiful, diligent in working what is expected of them without anybody telling them. It is more than being diligent. It is more than being committed. It is beyond hardworking. You understand, right? So conscientiousness is a personality trait in a Big Five model. There is something called, there are so many models to describe our personalities, the way we behave and all that. In one, Big Five is a model. In Big Five, conscientiousness is one of the quality. So this will get us to excellence, which means nobody is telling me what to do. I know what to do of myself. And I am being very diligent and I am committed to it. You understand, right? So now grit. I want to take a pause here. This is, you know, there is a psychologist in US. Her name is, I mean, go to YouTube, maybe note down, just type grit by Angela Duckworth. Go to YouTube. There will be a 4-minute video or 5-minute video. Please watch that video when you get time. There is a psychologist in US. They did a research worldwide on just one question: what makes people successful? What makes people successful? Only one. On that thing they did a worldwide research. They interviewed some of the finest sportsmen. They interviewed some of the finest businessmen. They interviewed some of the athletes, some of the, you know, everybody who have been the epitome in their field. You understand, right? They interviewed all of them. They came up with one quality. It is the grit which makes people successful. What is grit? It is an index of your passion and perseverance. An index of passion plus perseverance is grit. You understand, right? So again, I want you to understand what is grit. Why grit will lead to excellence. Again, there is another video in YouTube. How grit will lead to excellence. There is another 7-minute video. Please watch that. You understand it. So it is not just about being passionate about what you do. It is about perseverance. Again, if we were to give an example, look at the kind of movies the director Rajamouli made. He is every director may be passionate about movies, but he takes 3-4 years for a movie. How he maintained the perseverance for those 3-4 years. It is not joke. You understand, right? People just want to close a movie, filming a movie in just 3-4 months. But he is waiting for 4 years. That is maintaining the perseverance. And the outcome speaks for itself. You understand, right? So again, this is scientifically proven of what makes people successful. Grit. Sense of urgency, I think we spoke about it, sense of urgency in the previous slide. Bias for action. See, we will come to meetings, we actually speak a lot of things. For example, even Krishna came from US, we had discussed some 100 things, I had taken notes. If I just leave it with inertia and inaction, will there be any progress? No. That means it is not just about having sense of urgency. I should have a bias for action. Bias for action is just implementing the idea. Implementing what you want to, your goal, your objective, all of that. That means there should be action. Understood, right? So I think it was more of a monologue, but I want to, I think we have pretty much covered all the behaviors. We will share this presentation with you. And now that we know the values, now that we know the behaviors, the next thing is how these behaviors can be, the next discussion is going to be with individual teams, one with recruitment, one with HR, one with the delivery people, all of you, for you to break down, now that we know the high level, how this can be broken down into your daily routines and rituals. You understand, right? You go to meetings, you talk to customers, you talk to candidates, how you should be talking, what is the protocol, how we can get there. All of these we will have subsequent discussions. Okay. So any questions, anything, how can I ask you how you felt? I mean, what exactly is the takeaway from whatever we discussed? And thank you. Thanks for your patience, because I know it is not easy. Again, as I said, we are all living in a world where we don't want to listen. So listening is a virtue, listening is a value. So when you listen to me, I must really appreciate for this time and your trust in me that I add value to you in this time. Okay, so Krishna, what do you want to address? And because he's on as I said, he's on a mission to transform this organization. He is not here to just to do the business. He is here to build an enterprise. You understand, right? In that enterprise, we all are blocks and pieces. And how these blocks and pieces can be put together to make that large enterprise is a vision, is a mission that he has. Thanks, Krishna. Over to you.
No, you covered extensively, and that's very good. I do want to let you know our commitment towards this overall dream. Remember that it's not about money, right? Money comes automatic when you do your job, right? And it's all about relationships. I'll tell you what, I had no salesperson in the organization. We could able to generate 15 without any sales staff. That is my, what do you call it? My pure thing about work. You demonstrate your work, everything comes in your way, right? Keep that in mind. And number two, you should be, can you go back to, I'd like to add some points here.
Here, Krishna,
Maybe it's the first one. Yeah. Lot of times, this is how organizations are built. Salespeople go and sell stuff without knowing the reality of the ground, right? And when I say sales, looking at recruitment team or looking at regular, but the real thing we need to understand is we have to be authentic with our partners, our customers, right? Everyone, right? Be authentic. Don't just say something, yeah, we can do it, right? Give them the authentic and care about other person, right? I'll tell you one thing, I go to my customers, I never talk about business. I always talk everything but business. The reason is, by expressing yourself, you get what you are, right? So if I don't say anything, to you guys and I just walk around, float around and just go home, right? Nothing, you will not have any opinion about anybody. Right? You need to be expressing about yourself. You need to express yourself with your friends, your network, your customers, employees, whoever it is, your team. That way, they understand you better. Once you get into the comfort zone, there the magic happens, right? Otherwise, hey, I am your boss, you better be respectful to me. That's not how it works. It's about bringing everyone into your network or your close circle, right? And avoiding most poisonous environment, right? Especially by spreading rumors, talking bad about other person. All those are going to give you a short-term benefit. In a long run, when you are speaking bad about somebody else, you are in fact making yourself look bad.
Yes.
If the other person is smart enough, they will realize, man, this guy is just a backstabber, right? So this is one of the key things. I want to see these changes. There is something, I don't know how many understand this. You go on a road, you are going on a street, and there are 30 different vehicles. When you can have a trust on the road, the driver next to you, you don't even know. But you always assume the guy is going to in his lane, right? When you can do it on a street, why can't you do it in that world, right? I can go, here it is a little off, but when you see, that's what I always tell my colleagues or clients is, when you are going in your own lane, you feel, you drive, you take the keys from the house and you start driving. You are going with the hope that you will go to office. Because it's not just your drivability, or yours. It's all about having faith on others and you are Otherwise, what will happen? I don't know, somebody saw the news, somebody got worried that the COVID and she stayed in the house for 3 years, didn't even come out. Correct? I don't know how many of you read that news. That is scary, right? Building, so it's important thing is when we have our faith on people who are on the street who don't even know, right? They may not be from the state or city or not even this country, but we have a faith on them that they will drive carefully on the road and reach our destination. When you are doing the similar kind of work, when you are doing the same thing at work, you need to understand that faith needs to be on your team members, right? That's when we gel well. When the team works together, magic happens. It's that simple. There is not, he's explaining all this. I want you guys to pay attention to all of this, right? My commitment from our organization is on some of the things, culture, I'm really thankful. You guys don't even know, right? Visu is doing a great job. Make sure you all pay attention to this, right?
So we'll share this presentation, and I'll be more than glad when really some of you, try to double click all of these more and come forward and initiate discussions with us. And the next discussions are going to be with individual functions and departments to get into the daily routines and rituals, how we can get there. Okay? Thank you so much.
Guys, hold on.